If you like this episode, please subscribe, share with others, rate and review so we can continue to bring you great programming.
This is The Thing About Cars, a podcast for car enthusiasts and the people who love them.
Hello, this is The Thing About Cars. Welcome again to another episode. This one is going to be a little more disjointed and unorganized as usual because Misty just said something about earth movers and what? Personal massagers?
Yeah. You've never heard of the Hitachi magic wand?
Oh, I've heard of the Hitachi magic wand. I may have never mind. I'm not going to say anything. I plead the fifth.
Well, I could tell you Tim's comment on that post that I made was that he has operated both.
Magic wand was actually my nickname in college.
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
And we're off.
This is where the hazing starts. Wait a minute.
Yeah, pretty much. You notice he didn't even take time to introduce us. It's like, welcome to The Thing About Cars. Let's jump right to double entendre.
Double, triple.
Around the table, we've got the incorrigible Misty from the Netherlands. How are you, Misty?
I have a paint sprayer.
You have a paint sprayer, but no earth movers?
No, I have a paint sprayer. I've got an impact drill.
I'm not even going to ask about the magic wand. Ben, how are you?
Oh, gee, how am I? Well, I'm all right. How about you?
I'm spiffy. I'm just great. Suzanne, how goes it, Suzanne?
It's excellent. It is Jeep weather in Atlanta, so I am loving life right now.
It totally is. That is one question I want to ask you at some point about Jeeps, but we'll come back to that. And the only Dave Pauly, how are you, sir?
Actually, I'm not one and only. I come in 6-packs now.
Oh.
I'm feeling a bit deprived.
But, yeah, you want 5. You really want 5 more of me to get the full experience.
Heck yeah! This is awesome. So, do I want to know about the earth moving thing, Misty?
Well, it was something that I posted on Facebook, basically saying, Hitachi, makes the personal massager, and we're going to keep calling it that for reasons.
Sure.
And then it also had a picture of this big earth mover.
Mm.
And then Ben hops in with Yamaha and da-da-da, and I was like, dude, that could be a whole show. How many brands that us in particular might associate with planes, trains, and automobiles or whatever also make things that have no connection to their automotive or transportation side.
Yamaha makes a personal massager?
No, but
No.
but they make flutes, which frequently leads to that. There's that one time at band camp.
Yes, we know.
Well, and even to tie
band camp.
Hitachi closer to automobiles, they do make. I don't know if they still do, but at one time they were a big component supplier. When I was in high school, I had a Datsun 510, and its carburetor and differential were both made by Hitachi.
Okay. So next time we get together, let's do this. Everybody pick one company, and what are we going to do? We're just going to marvel about the scale of operations that they play in, or how do you want to approach this?
I guess the next question is, and I don't think it is, but it seems to be mainly Japanese companies, although there was somebody said something about GM.
Yeah.
GM and BMW and really companies the world over, car companies have done other things.
What are we going to call this episode?
I would say this is the joy of Google, because I've already gone down this rabbit hole. And, starting with Yamaha, there are actually gas-powered massagers.
That's scary.
Do they have a kickstand, though?
I'm just thinking about things I don't want to have a spark plug.
That's funny though about the kickstand, because I've seen several cartoons that in which the focus of the cartoon was a Harley Davidson powered massager.
Massager, yes.
If we want to call it that.
This is the Thing About Cars After Dark edition. That's what this is. So
this is like the Masquerade edition.
This is weird. Okay. I have a question for Suzanne regarding Jeeps. Should we get into that?
Yes.
Do you guys have anything else you want to do before we do that?
I have something. I don't know if we've talked about this or not, but Volkswagen is bringing back the currywurst.
Oh,
Are
awesome.
they really?
The what?
Yeah, someone please explain this to Suzanne.
The currywurst.
They're bringing back the what?
The currywurst. that
The currywurst?
Yes, Volkswagen actually had a Volkswagen part number for a curry sausage that they served in their factories, the Volkswagen currywurst, and they discontinued it last year, and almost took away my will to live. Certainly, my will to visit Germany.
I've never had a currywurst.
Oh my God,
I haven't either.
Yeah.
And being an owner of Volkswagens for a lot of my life, if Mickey, you remember the 67 Karma Gia in high school?
Oh, love Gias. Yeah. Oh my God.
I never got a currywurst with that though.
It's a shame. Beautiful car.
You got a Mickey.
Kinda.
I forgot that Mickey said you went to high school with him. Are there pictures?
Yeah.
Are there stories?
No.
Damn
it. Something tells me that no is actually a no.
Actually, something tells me that no means there's a restraining order.
I'll just say,
or a gag order.
And it with respect and complete honor of my fellow drummers, I will say that I'm very glad we did not have digital photography back in those days. So
I am so glad that social media didn't exist when I was in high school.
So glad. So absolutely glad. So
absolutely.
It would have certainly accelerated a lot of conversations with my parents.
Nice.
No, Mickey, you were mentioning something about a Jeep.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
I know Dave drives. Dave, you still drive a Jeep, right?
I do. A 2008 Jeep Wrangler.
So I suspect sometime in the next 18 months, I'm going to be back in the new car market. And I'm playing with several different options, including the CX-5, not the CX-50. On my short list of things to at least go test drive are the CX-5. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a Challenger with a big fat honking Hemi engine in it.
Yeah.
And
sounds so good.
Yeah, and on the list, although I've heard terrible things about Dodge in general in terms of their parts and their reliability and transmissions and stuff like that. Still, the Hemi
we've had no issues.
Okay, so on the list among other SUV types and truck types is the Jeep, is specifically the the pickup truck thing that they're doing these days.
Oh yeah.
Is it worth
Gladiator.
doing? Thank you, Gladiator. General question is it worth doing? Am I signing myself up for trouble? Am I going to be getting myself a gas guzzler that I'm going to regret? Should I or should I not get a Jeep, Suzanne?
I think it's yes to most of those questions. Is it worth doing? Yes. Is it going to be a gas guzzler? Why, of course. But the other thing to think about, right? Jeep just came out with their electric hybrid version, which is actually a plug and play Jeep where you plug it in and you run off of the electric and then you can flip it to gas. Now it's pretty new and I have a ton of friends looking at it, so I don't know off-road capabilities or anything like that. Oh, Dave, do you have one?
No, but I'm looking at it. I'm one of your new friend, but in the group of looking at it.
Yeah. So I don't have any friends that have bought it yet because it's pricey.
Oh yeah.
As far as Jeeps go, it's super pricey. I mean, Jeep was always the go-to because you could afford it car. Not anymore. But I would throw that in go look at, test, and just kind of see what you think about it. And the question always I have for people with a Jeep, are you an on-road Jeeper or an off-road Jeeper? Because those are two different Jeeps.
Two different things. Yeah, I have never been craving the off-road experience. Well, I'm pretty sure if I get one, it'll be a pavement princess. But I'm not opposed to getting one out and putting it through its motions.
Yeah.
Well, something else.
Go ahead, Ben.
Ben. Yep.
So, something you may want to consider, and I don't mean to call you fat in our public forum here, but
no, I'll take responsibility for that.
You may find the width of the Gladiator a bit on the cozy side. It's pretty closely related to the Wrangler, and they are not known for elbow and shoulder room.
Right, they're tight on the interior.
Yeah.
There.
Mainly because they put all this stuff in there. Yeah.
That, and they also do not have curved doors like most cars that provide
still a box.
Yeah, a surprising amount of your elbow room in regular cars comes from the curvature of the door.
I've been a passenger in a Jeep before. It was not an unpleasant experience.
Okay. Well, then go for it.
So, yeah.
But, the Jeeps today are so much more on-road comfortable than like my 84. If I have to take it longer than 3 hours, I'm putting it on a trailer. Because that is not comfortable. It is the most brilliant machine off-road, but it is not comfortable on the interstate.
Not for road trips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Road trips.
Yeah. My 2008 is much more comfortable than an older one, but even still, wind noise, and the fact that it has all the aerodynamics of a dishwasher. It can wear on you, and there's but even newer ones that were even better sounding. So I was pretty much convinced I was going to drive this thing until I died, and the only thing that would lure me out of it probably is an electrified version. Yeah. Although starting at 68,000 when the Gladiator is only like 38, that's making driving something till I'm dead more attractive.
Yeah, and I'm still disappointed that the only fun option is the Challenger. Come on, you only live once.
Misty, as Ben has very delicately pointed out, I am not a small person.
I don't care, but neither am I.
And Suzanne will tell you,
you're not
never been a
small person. You're an angry bollard.
The Challenger is
I'm an angry bollard, but trust me, my ass is such that if I half-ass something, you're still getting a lot.
You'd have no problem.
We are going to the masquerade version. Okay.
Oh God.
You would have no. You'd have no problem with the Challenger. It's actually plenty roomy.
Yeah, the Challenger would be plenty roomy.
It's the getting down and getting back up that I don't like, because you have to get down into a Challenger.
It's not super low, and it has huge doors.
That's what she said.
If you want the Hemi, if you want the experience of 700 horsepower, which is insane. Ford F-150 Raptor R. I'm still drooling over that one.
No.
It's only $104,000.
Jeez, is that all?
Yeah.
So Misty has an allergic reaction. She gets a nervous tick whenever we mention Ford.
I'm so sorry, Misty. I'll go back to you.
And I love Ford products, but as somebody who has studied and taught and worked in business so long, I have no freaking idea what they're smoking in their marketing department.
It's so true.
No.
Nothing.
Exactly.
None of their product decisions ever make sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to bring out a gas powered massager and call it the Thunderbird.
Now, why they're not introducing an EV under the Thunderbird name boggles my mind.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's such an opportunity.
It is, but Ford. I mean, they could interfere with a moist dream state.
Yeah.
Well, with how they bungled the last Thunderbird,
Well, and to be honest, they are wed to some weird brands. Thunderbird, really powerful brand. Bring it back, do something cool. No, let's bring back the Maverick instead.
Right.
The Chevy Vega with less charisma.
Right. So Misty and then Ben. Misty and Ben. Misty, you'll be pleased to know that somewhere in orbit around my list, it's not quite on the short list, but it's very close, is a used Corvette.
That's more Don's thing, but I'm all for sports cars. So then you have to understand, my daily drive is a 2016 Mazda Miata.
Right. I understand this. Which may end up being getting with my wife.
I was telling Suzanne.
I'm the new kid. I'm the new kid.
Because she hasn't met Claudette yet.
No, she has not. Yes.
And she has a name. That's awesome.
She has a name. She is a...
she's bipolar.
Yeah, she is kind of sometimes. I have to admit. But she's my ride or die, and we frequently go to Germany just to do 175 kilometers an hour on the Autobahn while we're on our way to get a McRib and a fried apple pie, because regardless of the fact that I've lived in the Netherlands, it's almost 19 years now, I'm still an American.
All right, so my question for Ben. When you were searching for your car, did you just go straight to the Mazda, or did you intend to entertain other things as well?
I was open to a lot of things, but I was a little bit, I had kind of Mazda in a high spot on my list because the car I was replacing was one that I'd had really, really, excellent results from.
Because Ben's a very smart young man.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have my moments at least.
Yes.
You are the voice of wisdom in this crowd.
Well, Dave recently told me that I was very zen, and I didn't know what to do with that information.
Well, that's my experience of you. Yeah.
I mean, you take me and Dave, with equanimity, and you're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah. Ask your doctor if Dave and Misty are right for you.
Probably not.
So I told my wife this. I turned around and told my wife this. I'm like, guess what Dave said about me today? And she looked at me and she's like, Zen? You get really grumpy sometimes. I'm like, I don't know if that's disqualifies the Zen thing, but
You can be grumpy and still be Zen. You can be very, very Zen about being grumpy.
yeah, okay. I guess that's true.
Yeah,
All right,
it
so-
doesn't sound like Buddha was a really manic person.
No, no, that is true.
I mean,
So-
yeah.
So Misty,
Okay.
what other fun cars should I put on my list? Same question for everybody, actually. What cars should I put on my list that I haven't
What
mentioned
other
so far?
fun cars should you put on your list?
Suzanne, you got any suggestions for me?
I don't know. Lotus is coming out with has those new EVs.
Ah, pretty sure I
Yeah,
can't
are they
afford
br-
that, but yeah.
They're not out yet. Not the sporty ones aren't anyway.
What were you about to say, Suzanne?
As I say, I think okay, so just frame of reference, the Hilux behind me, which isn't sold in the car in the States, but I am a off-road big car kind of person. So Mazdas make me twitchy, just like Fords make you guys twitchy. They are bringing
Just
back,
me.
I think they're bringing back some of the Land Cruisers, which is a very nice, capable car. It's roomy, it's comfortable. It does off-road like a dream.
Yeah.
I've watched, Land Cruiser 100 to 300. Just you could eat tea and crumpets in that car while it's climbing a rock wall. It is just so amazing. They put all this off-road capability and then they sell it like a luxury vehicle. Like that's such a waste. But
that might be
that is
handy on
something.
285.
Yes, it hasn't changed. I don't know how long you haven't. It hasn't changed. It's worse.
It's worse. Yeah.
It's worse.
Yeah,
I'll throw
absolutely.
a Toyota into the mix with all this.
Yeah,
Toyotas are not bad.
I've seen a few things in the Toyota world that definitely turned my head. Dave, what do you think I should put on the list?
Well, I've got all kinds of things based on, like for example, I always have convertibles. The Jeep is just the latest in a long line of midlife crisis cars. I think it really comes down to, what are the things you really dig in a car? In my case, I don't take the Jeep off road much. I like the fact I can do it. It is the car I should have bought when I was 24 years old because of just the amount of flexibility and sheer fun of driving it. And so, are you going to be more motivated by fun, more motivated by luxury, more motivated by seat cooling and seat heating? Some heretofore undiscovered automotive feature like built-in tea and crumpet tray,
Personal massager.
Grey Poupon
that
in the back
works.
seat.
Currywurster.
Yeah.
I would go for that in a heartbeat.
Okay.
I mean,
Currywurster. Is that what you're saying, Suzanne?
Yeah. If my Volkswagen had that, I'd never gone to Jeeps.
So Suzanne says put Land Cruiser on the list. Maybe also Toyota. Misty, what did you say?
just have fun with it. I mean,
Yeah.
Fiat's coming out with a lot of EVs. They're coming out with an EV version of, well, they've already come out, at least here on my side of the world, with an EV version of the Fiat 500, the Cinquecento, which is cute. Oh my God. I mean, it's maybe a little feminine for you, but it's adorable.
I'm also thinking it's about the same size as Mickey's shoe.
Oh, well, I mean, it has more cargo hauling room because my best friend my best friend here has a
It's only
internal
a size.
combustion engine.
Yeah,
It's only a size 13 shoe, Dave. It's not that
yeah.
impressive.
It's one does not get into a Fiat 500 as much as put it on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it probably does come with optional straps so you can make it into a backpack.
That car that Fiat did in conjunction with Miata, or Mazda, they took the Miata and they souped it up and released it as a Fiat.
Right.
I think it was an Abarth, right?
That was
That-
the
yeah,
124 Spider. Yeah.
So a friend of mine has one that he may want to sell soon, and I'm thinking,
Oh, awesome.
yeah, I don't know.
Fun
I don't
car.
know. Yeah.
Well, I've heard good about those because it's basically an MX-5, but it's in a more stylish package and it has a little more power than you could get with the Mazda version.
If I'm not mistaken, it's a supercharged engine.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ben, what should I put on my list?
Well, if you win the Powerball, get a Lotus Emira with the V6 and the manual.
Okay.
Can't
There is
argue
an
with that.
automatic version that has a Turbo 4 made by AMG. The V6 and the manual version is made by Toyota, and it's a fantastic engine. It's the same one they use in the Evora for years and years.
I mean, if he's
but
gonna if he's gonna win the Powerball, he might as well just go for a Koenigsegg.
something like that, yeah. But if
Don't
you don't
forget,
win the
I am not a small
Powerball,
person.
Yeah, if you don't win the Powerball, the used Corvette, that's the best bang for the buck for fast cars around.
Yeah.
Because they made so many of them that they're not near as precious used as they are new. So, and you can get a convertible one if that's your thing or not.
Yeah, drop the top and feel the wind blowing through your hair. Sorry, Mickey.
I need to
Eyebrows.
be alone now.
Eyebrows.
My feelings are hurt. Me and my eyebrows.
Well, what about
I
a Camaro?
really shouldn't say anything. I mean, my eyebrows are, if I don't keep them under control, I can type with them.
These have been this way since 1985, by the way. So.
You have very aggressive eyebrows, much like Peter Capaldi. Which was actually no.
They're
which
assertive.
was
There's a difference.
Well, the aggressive eyebrows would be a great name for a garage band.
Exactly.
Depends on gender.
Yes.
We've already had this discussion, Mickey. The difference between aggressive and assertive simply is down to gender or perceived gender.
Yes.
We'll have this conversation some other day. I know.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'm
backing you on that one. Yeah.
All right. So Ben, if I don't win the lottery,
corporate world for 25 years. Yeah.
Right. If I don't win the lottery, then we're talking used Corvette.
Yeah.
What about Camaro or Firebird?
Yeah.
Not quite my thing.
Well, Camaros,
Buick came out with a few things. Like they did a Lucerne that had a lot of new technology in it, and I sat in one of those, and it was just like comfort,
are comfy, but they're not much on personality.
Yeah, Mickey, weren't you really intrigued by the Mustang Mach-E when you saw it?
No.
Ooh, I've got a friend looking at that, so I'm waiting to see what she decides.
I mean,
that's intriguing.
The concept is, I find the concept cool. It's not a Mustang.
It's not a Mustang. Clearly.
It's not a Mustang. Yeah.
I've seen two of them. Two of my friends have them. One of them is adamant that it should be called a Mustang. The other one doesn't care. I am adamant that it should not be called a Mustang.
Well, regardless of that, it's actually a pretty decent EV from what I've been hearing.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
too.
but it's still not a Mustang. I mean, it's like a Morgan Pony or something.
This falls under the Dave's observation that someone in Ford's marketing department is smoking something.
Smoking
that version of it, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand up for my Ford trucks, but the car section of it is there's something wrong with that.
Sure, absolutely.
They're smoking leftover oregano.
Suzanne, you don't do Chevy trucks?
I don't. However, I do have a great respect for some of the brands that are coming out right now. But if I had to divert from Ford, I'd probably go Ram.
Really?
So yeah.
I've seen some compelling ones on the road. We've had a mechanic / technician on the podcast with us before who says that in terms of pure reliability and being structurally sound, that it's actually a Chevy engine that has fewer problems than the others do.
Oh, really?
So
unless it's in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s Blazer, when what they did was just put the S10 engine, that light little pickup truck, in this big honking huge Blazer, and the transmission was that's not going to happen.
Right.
Personal experience.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I've got stuff to do. Got some homework to do.
I still don't recommend the Bronco at this point. It's just not living up to the hype, and the price tag on it is crazy.
Have you seen the videos of its crash tests also?
No, I haven't seen those.
Oh, in any side view of a crash test, usually you watch the crumple zone. The thing practically snapped in half and caught fire.
Not good.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. I was like,
concerning.
I was really intrigued by it until I thought, okay, well, basically, the Wrangler can take, getting hit by an aircraft. And
the other thing to think about with the Jeeps, sorry, this just popped into my head, especially if you're getting a newer one that's a Rubicon that already has the 35-inch tires, figure out how tall it is, because in Atlanta, you have parking deck issues. If the parking deck is not 6'8" or taller, you're not going to get in with a Rubicon.
Right.
It's just going to be too tall.
That's shorter than my ex-husband.
He would not have fit in the parking deck either, Misty.
Yeah.
He didn't fit in a lot of places, mainly my life, but here we go.
Is it therapy hour? Should we need to do a therapy episode?
Every episode's therapy, man. Every episode's therapy.
The thing about free-range topics.
All right, let's some two quick items of housekeeping here.
I kept the car.
Is Is that the title of this episode? I kept the car.
I
think so.
Car.
I kept the car.
I kept the car. Subtitle:
Yeah.
Crossing the Rubicon.
That's hilarious.
To bring the Jeep, to bring the Jeep angle in there.
Is this because did you divorce him because he didn't buy you the new Mazda?
No, I divorced the final straw that actually caused me to say, okay, I'm done, is he didn't buy me the OEM reverse camera that I asked for my birthday. Because I asked for that in January. My birthday was in April, and as everybody knows, I turned 50 on Easter Sunday this year.
Oh, wow.
Oh, me. And because
it was an intense day.
Yeah, it was a day. It was like the end of April before I was like, did you even bother to ask the dealer? And I kind of brought it up when we were at the dealer, had taken Claudette in for her major medical, just her major tune-up for like every 5 years or whatever. And then he came back with, oh yeah, well, I looked at it and it was like really expensive. And I was like, yeah, not as expensive as a divorce is going to be.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the only reason. Please don't.
Right.
I'm not that shallow, but let's just say that was kind of, because I was like, dude, I'm turning 50. That's a major birthday. And, he was all like, I bought you that car for Valentine's Day. And I'm like, yeah, well, by my arithmetic, which admittedly I'm horrible at arithmetic and I can count to 20 if I have open-toed shoes on. This is my 50th birthday. This is a major deal. And you actually owe me like 2 cars. So, but yeah, it is what it is. And
next week on the Thing About Cars, it's therapy time.
Yeah. These are the days of our lives, like sands through the hourglass.
My academic background is in counseling psychology.
Oh, I just handle all of my emotional trauma with increasingly dark humor, and it's done me pretty well for like 45 years.
Okay. I don't know how to segue. I have
3 older sisters. I am deliberately staying silent here.
This is why Dave is my ride or die.
That's hilarious. Okay, so 2 things coming up that we should put on our radars. We've been invited to a car show on Saturday, October 7th. It is, where is this? It's at a Methodist church on Duluth Highway in Duluth. Go figure. In muscle cars, classics, resto mods, exotics, bikes, et cetera. This one benefits an actual Boy Scout troop, and we've been invited to come take a look, hang out, and I want to interview the organizers to see, what the organizers are all about. And I'm hoping everybody can be there with me for that. And if not, don't worry, I'll head up there myself if time permits.
You're gonna have to either you can't FaceTime me because I don't do Apple products, but you can bring me along in your little phone.
Let me figure out how to do that. And then the second thing is we've been invited back to Italian Car Day Atlanta at the Ferrari Maserati dealership over on Alpharetta Highway in Roswell, like we did last year. This one is Saturday, October 28th. We should get there probably before 10 because the show opens up at 10. And I'll see if we can line us up a guest or 2 to interview on site while we're there. Ben, I may need your help again doing XLR cords or something if we plan to record on site. Otherwise, we'll have to get creative and figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Creative. My favorite.
I mean, it should be good. There's a couple of outrageous things in Italian car world that I kind of hope we get to look at. Like the Lamborghini SUV is one of those things where it's like, why?
Yeah.
And yet I still want to see it.
The Lambo SUV, the Maserati SUV.
Oh, screw the SUVs.
Yeah.
The coolest thing at the last one that I remember was this Ferrari that was a replica of a late 50s, early 60s, GT racing type Ferrari. And I overheard replica made from real Ferrari bits. And I overheard the owner of it saying, the good news is it's all 60-year-old Ferrari parts. The bad news is it's all 60-year-old Ferrari parts.
I remember that car.
That thing was spectacular.
Yeah.
Although I still think somebody should make a replica Lambo from Lambo tractor parts.
Nice. Another cool thing about this event too, and not too many of them showed up as I recall last year, but it's technically Italian and French car day. They let the French cars come since there's so few of them that they can't really have their own event.
I was fixing to say, what? A Peugeot?
There's nothing like having a Lamborghini right next to a Renault appliance.
There are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or the
just not what the French are known for.
Or the
Yeah, oh
Citroen
gosh.
Dos Chevaux.
Yeah.
I still
I've-
swear I'm going to get a Dos Chevaux so I
There-
can have something to do the IKEA runs
There are a
because
couple of those in the local area here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's French automotive service is much like Air France. The corporate motto of Air France should be this is not possible.
wait, I
You know-
thought that was KLM.
Yeah.
It's just not possible.
I have a
It's not
soft spot for
possible.
French cars though, because they're just so weird. They're just not good. They're weird. They're just total underdogs. But the weirdness, especially Citroens, especially.
Citroens especially.
Yeah,
That
I used,
DS that
yeah.
looks kind of like a Gia.
When I
sort of.
lived in
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah.
yeah, when I lived in Germany, I actually wanted to get a CX, but they were out of my price range. The exchange rate sucked when I was over there. But yeah, they just make such weird stuff that you just can't help but love it.
I'm still looking for that Citroen where the front looks like the Dos Chevaux, but it's actually a pickup truck. It's
yeah.
either going to be that or it's going to be a
Yeah.
tuk-tuk. I'm because I just need something that I can just take to Delft to the
And the
IKEA.
SM, the SM is fantastic. That's the one they made in the 70s with the Maserati engine. It was actually front wheel drive and pretty high performance. And like the DS series that they made from the 50s to the 70s, they're very comfortable, when they work. Great riding cars, though, with the weirdest hydropneumatic suspension ever concocted.
Yes.
Have you seen the Citroen Ami?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, basically, if you look at the Citroen Ami, it looks like, first of all, it's really hard to distinguish where the front and the back of the car is,
Yeah.
but it looks more like the packing crate the dishwasher came in.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
an interesting description, Dave.
It's the France struggles. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just,
who made the Le Car? Was that Renault?
That was Renault.
Just
Les Box.
Le Box.
Yeah.
Yes.
The box, yeah. France
Yeah,
needs
but
to stick with what it does better than cars.
Which
Cheese,
is?
wine,
Cheese,
Attitude.
wine, baguettes,
Well,
yeah.
wine,
attitude,
attitude,
indignation.
protesting. I mean, they're
They're great
really
at that.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're absolutely amazing. And I
they're
think it
big
was
at that.
it was a conversation I had with my ex this past spring. It was on something on the Dutch news, and I was like, "Oh, they're protesting in Paris. It must be spring." Because it's just kind of what they do. And I mean, I'll never forget what was it back when the yellow jacket thing was going on, and everybody was like, and there were literally people that were like, "Oh my God, how could they? How could they? Just be like this. This is Paris. This is supposed to be peaceful." And I was like, "Have you met the French people?"
Yeah.
I mean,
Nothing radical has ever taken place in Paris.
no. I mean, they've never executed anyone with a guillotine the same year the Dark Side of the Moon came out.
What about French fashion? Is that still has the fashion market escaped from Paris and moved to Milan or something like that?
Well, I mean, but you've always had a center of fashion in Paris. You've always had a center of fashion in Milan.
Mhm.
And that's not going
There.
to change. And they're going to hate each other until the day the world stops turning. And it's just
Okay.
and then you're going to have New York, which is the only reason that Paris and Milan would ever bond together and go, ew,
All right,
Americans.
we're rapidly running out of time. We didn't. You know what we didn't do today? We didn't do any trivia.
And actually,
Oh.
you missed a message. Tim has emailed you a trivia question.
He has.
Yes.
He regular email or on Facebook.
No, he sent you a message on Facebook saying he emailed you. That's
Yes, he
kind of
did.
like texting somebody, Hey, I just left you a voicemail.
Yeah.
Please
All right,
send me.
Tim.
Please respond via fax.
All right,
Yes.
Tim. I'm going to ask the question. We're going to do a quick reminder, then we'll answer the question. I see the question. Thank you from Triviazar Tim. Thank you to Triviazar Tim is what I'm trying to say. Described on its own website as Truckers Disneyland, the world's largest truck stop includes 8 restaurants, a chiropractor, and a barber shop. Where is it located? Is it in Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, or Texas? None of these are on the eastern side of the Mississippi.
No, that's bigger than a Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Because I was actually
So-
my first guess was going to be Hartsfield Jackson.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of stop, but all right, so we'll answer that. So again, who's up for the October 7 car show for the Boy Scouts? It'll be a
Probably.
smaller show, more input. Okay.
You have to bring me along electronically, but I'll be there.
Okay, let me see what I
I
can
will.
do.
I will
Misty.
let you know on that. I'm not sure what I got going on right now.
And then
this really does bring up. Yeah, we really need to make that Misty sock puppet, so that way we've got her when we go on location.
Misty just did something visually that I cannot describe.
Love you, Dave.
Really, what's not to love?
All right, and then Saturday,
we don't have
October,
that much time.
Saturday, October 28th, from 10 to 3, it's Italian Car Day. We will be there. I'm going to try to line up some guests, so I hope a listener can join us out there. Who's all? If we're all going to be there, let me know so I can make sure we have enough mics and all that.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to try to be at that one.
Yeah.
You know the deal. I mean, I have to be there electronically because nobody's bothered to invent transporters yet.
Well, we need to figure that out. If we're all in person and we carry you in electronically, how do we make sure we can all hear you and see you and stuff like that?
A hologram.
It's. I love this. It's not impossible. We just want to do it right. So this is great.
Not a sock puppet, a bobblehead.
Missy, I need a high quality, high res headshot of you.
All right, I'll see what I can do. I'll figure something out. I'll go bother somebody somewhere.
Okay. So the question again, described on its own website as a trucker's Disneyland, the world's largest truck stop includes 8 restaurants, a chiropractor, and a barbershop. Is it in Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, or Iowa? Suzanne, what do you think?
You know, it sounds like something the Iowans are going to do. I'm going to say Iowa for that. It's in the middle. It's a good place for a truck stop to kind of go through east and west. So we're going to go with Iowa.
Dave, what do you think?
I'm torn between Iowa and Texas. Iowa sounds like a more reasonable place to put it. Texas just sounds like something that goes into Texas. Yeah, you've got to have the biggest gynecologist and everything else. All right, so I'm going to say Texas.
I'm sorry. You lost me at biggest gynecologist.
The stirrups are enormous. And we lost Ben with that one.
Ben, where is this truck stop?
My gut says Iowa too.
Iowa? Wow, everybody's faving Iowa and maybe Texas. Misty.
I'm gonna be really unavailable for me.
Dave has brought this thing to a screeching, uncomfortable, moist halt.
I work hitters through. I'm out.
So Misty's. You want me to just go on, Misty?
Nebraska. I'm saying Nebraska.
Okay.
Just Nebraska. To be contrary.
Well, the complex is located off I-80 near Walcott in Iowa. So everybody who said Iowa got it. And interesting
landmark. Everybody really lives in Iowa.
World's largest truck stop. So I'm like, it would be cool if it were like a shopping mall and you could drive your truck into it and then.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just, thinking weirdly. So thanks again to our listeners for hanging with us in this completely disjointed and disorganized episode of The Thing About Cars. Again, if you're in the Atlanta area on October 7th or the 28th, please come out to these shows. The first one is at the Duluth First United Methodist Church, located at 3208 Duluth Highway Duluth Highway 120. I can't read. Duluth First United Methodist Church, 3208 Duluth Highway 120. That's in Duluth, Georgia, October 7. Show starts at 9. We'll try to be there as close as we can to the opening time. And then Italian Car Day, an annual thing for us. Very happy to be going back on October 28th. When we'll be there at 10 a.m. as they open. It's good stuff, lots of really cool eye candy at both shows, I'm sure. And thanks again for hanging with us. We'll see you with another episode in about a week. Take care, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. This has been The Thing About Cars. We'll see you on the road.